episode number 92 of our podcast.
400 plus global investors. We pick up global deals as well as Indian deals.
All right, welcome back, viewers, to our episode number 92 of our podcast series, the Young Turks Dialogues by Crobstacle. And today we have another exciting guest with us, Vandana. So, Vandana, first of all, welcome to the episode. How are you feeling today?
Thank you. I'm feeling absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. And thank you for having me here.
That's great, Vandana. So, for our audience, Vandana has very vast experience in a lot of things that we are going to be bringing to this episode today. So, Vandana, of course, I won't be able to do justice by talking about your journey. So, why not you give a short intro about yourself to the audience so that they know you better before I start asking mine?
Sure. So, first of all, thank you very much for having me here. And a pleasure to be on this podcast. If the audience can even take one takeaway from this podcast and a life can change, I would be very happy. Because the end goal is to change a lot of lives and help as many companies as we can. So I was in Singapore and Jakarta for 15 years, and here I headed my own family office fund. This is my 12th year in India. I did investments, then I went back to advisory. I'm connected with 400 plus global investors. We pick up global deals as well as Indian deals. And in total, we have helped around 400 companies in 45 countries with fundraisers, have helped five VC funds with fundraisers, given a 350 plus talks. They are listed on my website, YouTube, and Spotify as well. I'm the top 10 women leaders in wealth management, Woman Entrepreneur of the Year 2021 2023. World Women Congress has awarded me to be a global woman leader. Hindustan Times, Gurgaon Times, Times of India have already covered me up. And apart from this, Dr. Kiran Bedi has awarded us to be the best financial institution in supporting startups in India. Hema Malini has awarded us to be the pioneering women leaders in investment banking space. On 19th November, which is celebrated as Women Entrepreneurs Day, I've been recognized among the top 8 women entrepreneurs of 2024. And in 2025, ET now has recognized me as 40 over 40 inspiring leaders of 2025. So this is all about myself, and
That's very interesting to know about you. So, we got a lot of experience here. So, let's
yeah,
deep dive into the episode with my
sure,
first question that comes to my mind after hearing about your journey.
sure.
Let's say in today's era, if a startup come to you with a killer product but with zero
Mhm.
marketing investment, how would you advise them to raise their first 50 lakhs? What will be your advice to
See, firstly, I'd like to ask them to tap into the non-dilutive funding options. And India has a lot of grants and government schemes that are giving backing to a lot of startups, and they offer up to 50 lakh through grants and convertible debentures. Many founders overlook this, but it can be a lifeline when you don't have to spend anything on marketing. And second thing is that I have emphasized the power of having a network over cold pitching, because having a network always helps. Almost serious funding conversation in India starts with an introduction through your alumni circles or your own family and friends. And then the third thing, I'd encourage them to bootstrap their visibility. Even without paid campaigns, a founder can use LinkedIn, blogs, or community events to get noticed. If you notice, founders like Kunal Shah have
Yes.
shown how much credibility can be built before you even spend a rupee. And the fourth thing is the key to prove capital discipline and product market fit. Um, the investors are not just betting on essentially on the idea, but they want to see that the founder can think frugally and execute sustainably. So I think these are some of the tips that I would like to give.
That's interesting. So, one thing that comes to my mind when you say this, so most founders they build products and then they raise funds. What's
Yeah.
the biggest mistake they make before even hitting the MVP?
See, the single biggest mistake is building in isolation. Founders often assume that because they believe in the product, others will also do. But
Like falling
only,
in love with their own idea. That's what I
yes,
get.
yes. But only a tiny percentage of people are, natural early adopters, and most of need proof and context. Now, India, I see three recurring errors. One is founders copy pasting Western playbooks without adapting to our local realities. What works in Silicon Valley may be a flop in Delhi or Indore. And they target all of India instead of narrowing down to specific customer personas. And a sharper focus often uncovers a faster path to traction. Then the third
Just
thing is,
said something that I totally believe in. You know, in marketing, when we also get clients, they say, I want to blast India. When I say blast India, do you have that funds? That's where the reality hits them. So
yes,
sorry to cut you, but I couldn't resist saying this on the podcast because
no,
I've
no.
been telling my clients so many times, but they were like, no, we'll target India. Sale though it is coming from one place, but we are targeting India. For what would
Yeah.
we do?
And I like the way you're making it interactive also, because I don't want to be the only one speaking as well. So, they treat marketing as an afterthought.
Yeah,
When the reality is it should begin before the MVP. Even a simple landing page, waitlist, or community group can validate whether people are genuinely interested. So my advice is market without audience, not after you built the product.
right. That's right. But people don't understand it. I have been trying to make them understand for last 5 years since starting Crobstacle, but maximum even startups or you can talk about big companies, they are like, we want to target India. We
Yeah.
want to invest in India. And they, when I tell them what you just said, personas, they will like, personas, but I can get it everywhere. Tier two, tier one, it is okay. And then when we spend the budget, they will like, everything is spent. What do I do now? So especially this happens mostly with the D2C founders. B2B people are still, in terms of lead generation, they still understand a bit about that. But D2C, that segment of founders, especially, so I
Yeah.
face a lot of these issues with.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
So based on your, because we are able to match the aura here. So what's the one red flag in startups go to market or marketing plan that instantly kills investors' interest, even if the product is strong?
Yeah. Yeah. The biggest red flag is unrealistic assumptions around, CAC and sales cycle. And many founders present numbers like we can acquire customers at 200 rupees, when in reality the cost may be 5x or more once you scale. If these numbers aren't backed by, pilot experiments, investors lose confidence quickly. Another warning sign is when founders underestimate time to convert, especially in B2B. If you say sales will close in 30 days, but the real cycle is 6 to 12 months, it shows you haven't tested the ground. And ultimately, investors, aren't really looking for perfect forecasts. They're looking for realism, validation, and a clear path to unit economics. Overconfidence without evidence is the fastest way to lose interest.
What you said is, I can again relate to this.
Yes.
The things you're saying are very closely relatable again. So even when I started out, so I had those thoughts like what you just said is one of the biggest mistakes. And when I executed, and I be like, okay, so my sales cycle, I get a lead. but the lead actually converts after 6 months. So then how can I say it converts in a month? Because when
Right.
I saw the pipeline, I build a CRM funnel. I be like, okay, that time I connected with the lead. This time it takes to get with the proposal. Then they will sleep over it for 2 months. They will come back. They will say, oh, one day I want to start. So that is actually relatable.
Yeah, yeah.
So and I feel that you do not get the exact number until unless you operate for a year or so, because until unless you have multiple varieties of customers, I will say.
Yeah, you need to have variety of customers from variety of places, and takes about a year or plus to get traction. And before 2 years, you should not jump into funding, because then only you know whether it's working for you or not.
And I think during this period, founder should be there on ground, because that's what I have learned from my personal experience. Until unless, so initially when I began, I had okay. So how a startup grows? I had sales interns from college. They are on ground. They're talking to the customers. I don't know what they are selling. It was a total mess. But then when I went on ground, talked to the customers, understood the reality. So now I understood one thing, that most of the customers that I am getting in my region, they already have burned their hands in the services that I'm providing. So that's where I
Hmm.
understand, okay, this is how we should be talking. And that's where we were able to build the right, I won't say pitch, but the right plan, giving them the right advice, because when someone burned their hands, so you need to be slow on them. So understanding all of those things. And then when I got the sales team next time after 2 years, so it was
Yeah,
far better.
makes
So,
sense.
talking about 2 years thing. So now after 2 years, let's say a founder comes and they create a pitch deck. And whenever we are creating a pitch deck, it's like we put in all of the efforts of our lives into that. Agree or disagree on that? You tell about it. So, what do you think? Pitch decks, I feel they are overrated. You could agree or disagree. What is your take? We would like to know about that. And what do you think should replace them in 2025 if you disagree?
See, pitch decks is a very important part of the conversation between you and the investor. And you know what founders generally do is they think that they know how to make the pitch deck, and they do not use a professional's help like us to make the pitch deck. So what happens is, when we make the pitch deck, which we have been doing for over 25 years now, we make it in such a way that it is sellable to the investor, and it has clarity about everything. So I would say pitch decks are not overrated, but they, sometimes if the founder has not prepared it properly, they are over relied on. And that is the thing. So I think it is very important that it's made through professionals like us. One is this, but ultimately the deck cannot also replace real traction. That is also there. And what investors truly value is clarity in the founder's mind. Now, if you can explain your business in 3, 4 sentences, you're already ahead. And sometimes the founder cannot explain their own business. And in 2025, I believe decks should evolve into interactive formats like short video explainers, product demos, or data rooms that update in real time as well. That could be one possibility. But ultimately, what goes into a deck cannot be replaced by anything else. And at the end of the day, the deck supports the pitch, and but it doesn't really, supposing you have a very good pitch deck, but if you yourself don't know your business, then I think there you fail. It's very important that both go hand in hand.
Makes sense. So let's talk about in a post funding winter world.
Yeah.
Should startup build their first CR top line using marketing or networking?
See, I would choose networking first, because in India, trust still drives capital and business adoption more than pure advertising. Now, many early contracts, especially in B2B, come from the founder's network. alumni groups, and even your reference rather than marketing spends. Marketing is still critical, but in early stage, you need credibility before visibility. Once you cross the threshold of, trust, your marketing rupee stretches much further. So the real answers is that networking actually unlocks the first crore, marketing scales the next 10.
I like that line. We'll highlight that in our podcast. So from this, I got another thing. So as we also work with many Shark Tank brands, and you know, and everybody has a different story. But what you just said makes a lot of sense. So most startup waste money on paid ads too early, way too early. Like they come, they will say, "I want to get the branding done, website," and then let's get immediately started with the ads. So,
Hmm.
but what we just discussed is networking is the key. So at what point in the funnel should performance marketing actually begin? From your take, you work with so many startups.
Yeah. See, paid ads should only come after organic traction proves demand. Otherwise, you're just paying to test an unproven hypothesis. Now, I recommend starting with low cost experiments, wait lists, referral programs, social content to see if people are genuinely interested. Once you have a working product and some repeat users, performance marketing becomes a multiplier and not a like a crutch. Now, a good test is that if you pause ads and growth goes to zero, you are too early. But if growth continues, but ad accelerates it, you are ready.
Got it.
So, like I'll give you one example. During COVID time, we had CFOs and CEOs that had lost their jobs, but they had forgotten simple tools, which like they had forgotten to upgrade their website. They had forgotten to upgrade their LinkedIn. They were not posting anything on LinkedIn. I believe that one should post every day on LinkedIn. And
Yes.
they were not putting a WhatsApp story, they were not putting a Facebook story, they were not putting an Insta story. So these are small tools that you can use without spending if you have the network essentially.
Yeah, that's true. And that's where I think most startups, we also, when they come to us, they be like, "Oh, I saw that case study you saw in 24 hours, they got 1 million downloads. How can I do that?" The conversation begins like that. And
Yes, yes.
virality, I think, is such a killer for so many startups that they, instead of building something for the longer run, they play the short game and they lost it. I have personally worked with a few e-commerce brands who lost it, and we never recommended them. But of course, the customer is your customer, so you have to, and until unless they have that understanding, you have to make them understand. So we make
Yes.
them understand. Still, they insisted, so we help them. Okay, okay, let's do this, but this is the disclaimer. We are going to do this, and then at the end, it happened. It ended very badly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we also learned that lesson. That so now we of course refuse these kind of people because we don't want a bad name. Now we are fighting into the market, but initially we have worked with a lot of these companies, and still in the market, so many people are there. They be like, "I want to go viral. How can I do it in 30 days? I want
Mhm.
1 million followers." Not practically possible. Maybe there is a way, but I only know the long term game, how to play the long game. So yeah. So let's talk about, you mentioned LinkedIn. So how important is a founder's personal brand in attracting capital? Like LinkedIn is a great way to do it. So, let's discuss about it.
Okay. See, a strong founder brand can absolutely open doors faster. Now, many investors now discover startups via LinkedIn or podcast before formal pitches. But personal brand is a gateway, not a guarantee. Investors will still dig into traction numbers and customer love. What a good brand does is signal thought leadership and consistency. If you are known as someone who understands the market deeply, investors are more inclined to trust your execution. So I would say LinkedIn can't replace a pitch, but it can ensure the right people are waiting to listen to one.
Got it. It can act as a catalyst.
Yes, yes, it can act as a catalyst.
So, from your such long experience, can you name three things early stage startups can do to build without investor trust without spending a rupee?
See, transparency, share honest updates, even about failures. Investors respect founders who don't sugarcoat things. And, show how you're stretching resources, whether it's leveraging free tools, building in-house, or acquiring users without ads. So that would be a proof of frugality. Now, community validation, collect testimonials, referrals, or early letters of intent. Even 50 unpaid but engaged users say more than vanity numbers. So I think this also can help early stage startups to build investor trust without spending a rupee.
Mhm. Got it. That is very clear. So, from your experience across Singapore, Jakarta, now Gurgaon, so what's the biggest mindset difference you see between Southeast Asian founders and Indian founders when it comes to marketing, funding?
See, South Asian founders often approach marketing in more structured and planned way, and they tend to spend time building processes before scaling. And Indian founders, on the other hand, thrive on hustle. They experiment fast, stretch budgets, and often find creative, low-cost hacks. But both styles have strengths. But the best results come when founders combine Indian agility with Southeast Asian discipline.
Got it. You just mentioned about the two different mindsets. So in India, what I understand is one thing, in India, they in the West call we do a lot of jugaad. Is this something closely related to that?
See, actually, there are a lot of unicorns in India also. It is not that there are no unicorns, and there are some companies that have really done well. But also, discipline is a factor. Like, to give you an example, we have had a founder that worked hard with the investors' money. We had a founder who treated cancer with the investors' money. So I think that kind of discipline is there in South Asian countries. This happens in India essentially.
Okay, so that's a big challenge for investors to trust on the.
Yes, yes, yes. Like,
Oh,
even if you might have heard about that EV startup. uh,
yeah, Blue Smart.
yeah, yeah. So the same thing happened there as well. It was used for personal uses, wherein the founder could have easily drawn a salary and used it for whatever they wanted to, which
Right.
is allowed.
Yeah. The last time when I was in Bombay, so they do seed funding in early stage startups. So I was seeing a pitch. So he asked the founder that, what salary will you draw? And he
Yeah,
said something like a lakh or something like around that. So he'd be like, why should I be funding your salary? So I think somewhere or the other, the conversation goes haywire that in that way as well. So, but of course, he told me his reasons. When you are early stage startup, you will take such a big salary. Where will my money go? So I understood his point as well as an investor. He is my good friend, but then from the founder's perspective as well. So I got both of the side of things that day.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you have advised 300 plus startups across borders. What marketing channels do 90% of the founders underestimate but should be doubling down today?
See, without doubt, community and word of mouth. And in India, especially, a trusted referral often converts faster than any paid ad. Yet founders chase Instagram ads before building advocates. And strong communities, whether on WhatsApp or LinkedIn or at offline events, create loyalty and repeat users, which investors do love to see.
Got it.
Yeah.
Community building is something these days every brand is doing. I am seeing
Mm.
Tata's of the world also doing the same.
Yes, yes.
Got it. So, in your experience working with so many investors, what's the one marketing metric they actually care about beyond vanity numbers?
See, retention and repeat usage. It's not about how many people. Uh, so,
Yep, yep.
retention and repeat usage. It's not about how many people tried your app once. It's about how many come back. Now, revenue quality also matters. Do your earnings come from repeat customers, or it comes from repeatable customer behavior or one-time spikes? That is also there. And ultimately, investors want to know if the business can sustain without burning money endlessly. So retention is the clearest signal of that.
Got it. And I think that that's where many of the founders we just focus on awareness, consideration, and conversion. What after that?
Yes, yes.
So that's where I also keep on telling the brands we work with that we need to understand what is the lifetime value of the customer. LTV, let's focus on that. Let's focus on doing more of WhatsApp marketing, email marketing, or let's give them some referral program. But they don't listen initially.
Yes, yes.
They will like, we need to run the ads. But from data and statistics, if I talk about for hospitality, email marketing works so well. We have seen 25% customers always coming back to us. So
Yes, it
that is
works.
the minimum. In Dehradun, I am telling, of course, with the hotel. So I cannot name the hotel, but it's one of the biggest hotels in London that we're working with. So with
Okay.
them, the email marketing worked so well, like 45% plus during this off season. And we were
That's,
like, oh, that's brilliant.
yeah, it's working.
Yeah. So I've got, we have covered most of the things now, a bit of rapid fire kind of thing. So
Sure.
just tell us cold email or warm intro.
Warm intro because in India, trust is the currency and relationships matter more than cold outreach.
That will make a good read. One powerful video ad or 10 static post.
One powerful video, a single compelling story has more cut through than scattered content.
Got it. B2C startup with 1 lakh users but no revenue, or B2B startup with 10 lakh MRR but no brand presence.
B2B with MRR, real revenue beats the vanity scale.
Got it. That makes sense. Hire a growth hacker or a storyteller first.
So, I would say a storyteller, a great story attracts talent, customers, and capital. Growth hacking works only after that.
Got it. That's cool. So one question now. If your company were to pivot into a pure marketing agency tomorrow, what would be your core playbook be for early stage brands?
So, if Convanto were to pivot into a pure marketing agency, we focus on storytelling before spending, helping founders articulate their why, build community first channels, small WhatsApp groups, niche LinkedIn communities, and founder led content, and layer in low cost organic marketing before touching paid ads, blogs, and podcasts partnerships. And finally, in tie everything back to unit economics, marketing is not about being loud; it's about being sustainable.
Hmm, that's nice. Interesting. We all agency founders can learn a lot, learn a lot from you. So this is my last thing that I want to ask you. What's
Yeah.
the one marketing insight you wish every founder knew before they tried raising their first round?
See, no investor will fund a startup forever just because the story sounds good. If you can show genuine demand, even a small pocket, investors line up to back you. And marketing is not just about growth, it's about proving that people care enough to come back and pay again.
Hmm,
And
got
yeah, it's about that. Yeah.
Nope. Very crisp and precise answer you give.
Yeah.
And I think this was one of the most crisp but value driven podcasts that I've done, like how marketing should be to the consumers. We did storytelling as well. So, on that note, first of all, thank you, Vandana, for
Thank you.
giving us all the insights that you have given.
Thank you.
Because I had such a long list of questions, but we covered them so precisely, and it all flowed naturally. Secondly, thank you to our audience who watched the episode till here. Vandana, before I go to my standard closing line as part of the podcast campaign, would you like to say something on this podcast episode?
See, I would like to tell everybody that it's very important to understand this line. Anybody who's criticizing you is only doing so because they do less than. Don't fall for it. Don't let that break your confidence. And if you have 10 people around you who are your best, people, still you should believe in your inner instinct. That works well at all the time. And if you have that self thing, I can do it, you will be able to do it. And you don't have to really figure out everything now. You can you can go one day at a time, go one step at a time. Everything is not to be known like a meal, like it can wait. Like you figure it out, go one day at a time. Don't think of 10 things and then you're not even able to do one. So that's the thing.
Wow, that is amazing. And on that note, again, thanks to you, Vanna. Thanks to
Mm.
our audience. If you like the insights that Vanna has given and you have any questions related to it, please post them down in the comment section, or we'll be having Vanna's profile link, LinkedIn profile link down in the description. You can directly reach out to her. If not, reach out to us. And do like, subscribe, and share if you like this episode. And we'll be back soon with another exciting episode on our podcast series, The Young Turk Dialogues by Crobstacle. This is our episode number 92. Signing off now. Have a great day. Bye bye.